In 1997 European Grand Prix, when Jacques Villeneuve seized the championship amidst controversy and collision. To celebrate 75 years of Formula One, F1.com is unveiling a weekly series highlighting the 25 most unforgettable races in the sport's history. While opinions may differ on the rankings, these stories capture the drama, skill, and moments that have shaped F1 into the thrilling spectacle it is today. You can explore the full introduction and race list here. https www.formula1.com/n/latest article/greatest races/best 25 F1's 75 years anniversary 3JNP Colwes QQLMK W1 http. At number 4 on this prestigious list is the 1997 European Grand Prix, a race forever etched in memory, not just for the on-track action, but for the intense rivalry and controversial clash between Jacques Villeneuve and Michael Schumacher. Villeneuve, driving for Williams, shares his vivid recollections of that pivotal weekend with Mike Seymour, revealing the tension, strategy, and sheer determination that led him to clinch the title. The saga really kicked off back in 1996 at Estoril, when Villeneuve made a daring move, overtaking Schumacher on the outside of the final corner. Watch here. www.facebook.com/Formula1/videos/1996/Portuguese Grand Prix/Villeneuve passes Schumacher/1397354-628. That moment set the tones of the entire 1997 season. Interestingly, the year was unusual because Villeneuve and Schumacher rarely engaged in direct wheel-to-wheel battles on the track. In fact, they never even shared a podium during any race that season, which is quite remarkable given their fierce competition. Instead, much of their rivalry played out off the track through media exchanges and psychological warfare. Both drivers were locked in a high-stakes battle where only victory mattered. Points for anything less than first place were almost irrelevant. The championship seesawed back and forth, influenced by crashes, mechanical failures, and sheer luck. Approaching the final race at Jerez, Villeneuve recalls feeling surprisingly calm and focused. "I wasn't nervous at all," he says. "I was in my own bubble, like nothing else existed. It was probably the best night's sleep I had before a race all year. I had a mission, and I just knew I was going to come out of that weekend as the champion." Despite trailing Schumacher by a single point, Villeneuve's confidence was unshaken. He understood the risks. One accident or mechanical failure could hand the title to Schumacher, but he thrived under pressure. This mindset was similar to his approach when winning the Indianapolis 500, where he overcame a 2-lap deficit to claim victory. That resilience and calm under pressure defined his racing style. Earlier in the season, Villeneuve had faced a setback at Suzuka, where he was disqualified after holding a 9-point lead. Back then, a win was worth 10 points, so this disqualification was a harsh blow. Yet, paradoxically, it fueled his determination, making him feel like an underdog cornered and ready to fight back. Jerez itself was buzzing with energy. The paddock was electric throughout the weekend, but the track posed a unique challenge. It was similar to Magny-Cours in being oversteery, a characteristic Villeneuve liked, but when both the car and track have this trait, it can become tricky to find the perfect setup. Qualifying was intense. Villeneuve's first flying lap was exceptional. So good, in fact, that he couldn't improve on it in subsequent attempts. Normally, drivers get faster with each run, but this time, his initial lap remained unbeaten. Schumacher and Villeneuve's teammate Heinz-Harald Frentzen both matched Villeneuve's time down to the thousandth of a second. See the incredible footage here. https://wallswick.com/n-video/3 drivers set identical qualifying times in Europe 1997. 1687-5080-189-06548. Because Villeneuve set his time first, he secured pole position, a twist of fate that played a crucial role. Saturday night was filled with endless strategy discussions involving Villeneuve, Frentzen, and the Williams team. Ironically, none of the plans worked out on race day. As overthinking seemed to cloud their judgment, the start of the race was chaotic. Schumacher took the lead at turn 1, and Villeneuve, noticing Frentzen close behind, chose to brake early and let his teammate pass. After that, Villeneuve decided to abandon complex strategies and simply race instinctively, which reignited his performance. Villeneuve was confident he could catch Schumacher. The media had extensively covered Schumacher's aggressive tactics in previous years, and the FIA had warned that any dangerous moves could lead to penalties, including disqualification. This looming threat weighed heavily on Schumacher and Ferrari, affecting their approach and adding psychological pressure. Villeneuve knew his car managed tire wear better, giving him an advantage in the long run. His plan was to push Schumacher hard, hoping to force a mistake or tire degradation that would open a window for an overtake. Early in the race, Frentzen pushed aggressively, seemingly unconcerned about tire wear, which may have pressured Schumacher too much. When Frentzen eased off, Villeneuve resumed his pursuit, steadily closing the gap. Their pace was closely matched but complementary. Schumacher excelled out of slow corners, while Villeneuve was stronger in high-speed bends and braking zones. It became a tactical game of waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Villeneuve noticed he was about 1.5 meters closer to Schumacher than before, and realized this was his chance. "There's no point attacking at every corner," he explains. "You have to leave a little gap, stay focused, and pick the right moment to pounce. But you must always stay close enough to keep the driver ahead under pressure. That's the key." Both drivers made their pit stops, with Villeneuve delaying his by a lap compared to Schumacher. Shortly after his second stop, Villeneuve pushed harder than ever through turns 1 to 4, even running 2 wheels slightly off the track onto the sand. He timed his move perfectly, waiting until Schumacher was fully focused on the corner and no longer checking his mirrors. Then came the infamous collision at Drysack Corner. Villeneuve pulled out to overtake, catching Schumacher off guard. The contact was significant. Villeneuve was surprised Schumacher didn't take him out. Initially, he thought the rear suspension was damaged, but it turned out to be the battery rack that was hanging precariously by electrical cables. Despite the damage, Villeneuve managed to keep the car steady by braking earlier and more gentle, avoiding curbs, and being as smooth as possible to prevent further harm. "Sometimes you're on the edge of breaking down," he says, "but if you massage the car carefully, you can make it to the finish." At this point, Villeneuve's focus was solely on finishing the race. He didn't even pay attention to his rivals behind him, knowing he only needed a single point to secure the championship. Thankfully, he crossed the finish line, with the battery rack barely holding on. The team didn't inform him that McLaren's Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard were closing in. Communication had stopped, and everyone was holding their breath. Looking back, Villeneuve admits he wishes he had pushed harder, instead of playing it safe for the championship. He didn't realize that this would be his last F1 victory, or even his last chance to win. But at the time, securing the title was all that mattered. The celebrations afterward were unforgettable. In the days before social media, the party was old-school fun. Someone took the hotel key and opened the bar, and Villeneuve found himself serving drinks to about 20 friends and team members. Jerez was the dramatic climax of a rollercoaster 1997 season, a fitting finale where everything came down to the wire. Standing on the podium alongside Hakkinen and Coulthard was a surreal moment, made even more special when Villeneuve received a call from the Prime Minister of Canada congratulating him. Moments like these are truly beyond imagination. Jacques Villeneuve shared these insights with F1.com's Mike Seymour. "Race tickets, United States. Don't miss your chance to witness the excitement live at the Circuit of the Americas. Book now, https://tickets.formula1.com/en/F1-3320-United States. What do you think about the infamous collision between Villeneuve and Schumacher? Was it a racing incident or something more? Do you believe Villeneuve's cautious approach after the contact was the right call?
or should he have pushed harder? Share your thoughts and join the debate below.